What you're saying is far-fetched and is out there, but you have a story. Tell me about your employment. Where did you start off from?
Thank you. After high school, I didn't go to the university. I couldn't make it to the university.
And I really hustled a lot. Or because of grades?
I didn't manage the exact grades. Why? Because there's not a single term in high school where I was not sent home for the balance of the school fees. My mother was very poor, 11 children, single mother who was a barmaid, extremely poor. I thank the church who really aided me in terms of high school. But after high school, I actually hustled for almost 5 years. But my first corporate job in a multinational bank, my first corporate job in a multinational bank was a T-boy. And I loved the job. And
as a T-boy?
As a T-boy. It was in a bank. And I used to hear the cashiers every evening saying, balance your till, balance your till, balance your till of cash. I used to balance caps. I would say that, Mike. But I was motivated. I was very, very motivated. Because
what is it that gave you that motivation? And the reason why I ask that is because many of us possibly think the job we're doing, if I would just go to the next level, I would be much happier. But here you are happy at what many might scoff as, not a very nice job.
Thank you so much. Number one is because I knew exactly where I wanted to go. By the way, I started dreaming of working in the bank in class 5 when my mother took me to a bank in Thika town. And I saw the bank and I saw money. And I asked my mother, is it possible for me when I grow up to work in this bank? She told me, God does not discriminate. It's your choice. So when I got the first job in a bank as a T-boy, to me that was a great, amazing stepping stone. And I knew it was the start of my ladder, climbing the ladder. I did it for a few months. They realized, and I want to say this very humbly, Mike, very humbly, they saw my diligence, my commitment, my work ethics, my motivation, my passion. They actually had to seek dispensation from the head office, HR director, for me to go through the interview process, even though I didn't have a degree or a professional certificate or diploma. But based on the output I gave, they requested HR. Can this boy sit for the normal interview? If he passes, we give him a better job, a clerical job. If he doesn't, he remains a T-boy. So I did mathematics 2 hours, English 1.5 hours, and I passed. From a T-boy, I became a clerk. But I want to tell you something that one of the managers, he still arrived, told me. Because there was a time he told me, Mbugua, you are young, you're 2 years in this bank. We demand more from you. And I told my manager, excuse me, sir, you don't seem to understand. I come from a very humble background, blah, 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 blah. I have no degree. Some of my colleagues have a master's degree. I have none. Sir, can I ever expect to grow, to climb the ladder in this organization? Mr. Limo told me, excuse me, the most important degree, probably the only degree that matters in as far as success and self-promotion is concerned, and this degree it is a basic requirement. It is available in each and every human being. It's a minimum standard. That degree is called the heart. My own boss, he told me, Mbugua, open up your heart in selfless service to God and mankind. The rest will follow. He changed my life forever. He told me, how far you can go in this bank and how fast you can arrive is a personal choice. I said, what? Yes. It has nothing to do with whether you know a Godfather here, how many degrees you have, your background. It has nothing to do with that.
That would some people say that it's downplaying education. Because at the end of the day, you do require some minimum requirements for you to even go up that ladder. There's some things that you'll need that are academic.
Mike, I agree. Probably my boss wanted to tell me that you need to do what? You need to see how best you can harmonize this, bring them together to work for your own good. Why are we saying that? If you're not able to synchronize all those, and they're very important aspects of success. Because, Mike, you can agree with me. We have somebody who is a professor today, but at their workplace, I'm so sorry, they're not as productive. With somebody who is just primary school dropout, and their workplace, they're extremely productive. Sometimes you see that, even some of the gatekeepers that you meet at the gate, how they treat you, their passion, their love for the job, you're like, wow, they should have been the manager in this company, not so on and so forth. So that changed. And from that time, I realized it was really about, because really, motivation is not about what religion you are, Mike. Motivation is not about what tribe you are. Passion has nothing to do with how many degrees that you have. It has nothing to do with your height. It is something spiritual. It is inside you. And you can ignite it. You can bring it out. It's only that we didn't know that. Because, again, according to the way you have been cultured, we think motivation is what? Is extrinsic, is material. Give me money, give me a gift, give me this, and so on and so forth. But the most enduring motivation, might probably the only true motivation, it ought to be a seed that must be nurtured from within yourself. Within yourself. So Mike, I want to say that very humbly. So within about 7 years, I was a senior manager in that bank. Within about 7 years. Because somebody told me this. See yourself as a consultant today who is consulting with this bank. See yourself today as a consultant today who is consulting with this media house. And tomorrow you may be in a different media house. You see, I think to me, the workplace as human beings, let me use the analogy of an orange tree. If you think about a fruit tree, like an orange tree has a lot of gifts within it. You can get oranges, the orange juice, you can make charcoal, firewood, birds can build on it. You can rest under its shade, and so on and so forth. It conserves the environment. There are so many that you can enumerate. So
just
many.
From that one orange tree.
Yes. And these gifts were endowed to the orange tree freely by its maker. And remember, one day that huge orange tree was a seed, true or not? Too tiny, you could barely hold it between your fingers. But the seed agreed to unleash the power, the greatness within it, the right environment. But I think to me, the very cardinal question is, what is the orange tree supposed to do with those gifts? And the answer is only one: to share, to give, to spread, to distribute, to serve. And Mike, the more it serves, the more you as the owner of the tree, you invest in it.
Wow.
For some of us who grew up in the rural area, look at that tree, orange tree up there. If the tree was very unproductive, maybe giving only 3 oranges in a year, what would happen? The owner neglects it.
Or even cut it down.